Hey, what's up, everybody? We are here with another episode, the second episode, actually, of Dynamite with Dezzie and Dean. I'm Des Loreen. There's Dean Midgley. How you doing, Dean?
I'm all good, brother. I'm all good. Staying well.
Man.
How are you?
Oh, man, it's been something else, We're still here in lockdown up north. My wrestling organization, we just found out that we unfortunately won't be able to wrestle indefinitely until social distancing has been called off. So we don't know how long that's going to take. But you know what I mean? We had an amazing week here on Dynamite. Holy crap, this was a show. And it was the go-home show to their big Double or Nothing this weekend. And we're going to be covering that too.
It was a great show this week. Yeah, a fantastic go-home show. Built everything for the upcoming pay-per-view. And also built stories going on beyond that.
Oh, way beyond, yeah.
Every segment built to the pay-per-view perfectly. That I'm hyped for pretty much every match on the card.
Yeah, it's definitely big, and the show started right off. I love that limo coming in. Inner Circle shows up. We got dropped the word nincompoop. I love that Walter on Facebook is just right away like, "Hey, what does nincompoop mean, you guys? I just want to know because this word got dropped on my favorite TV show." So that was a nice way to start the show. But right away, I think they started the show off with a great match in Jon Moxley, obviously the champion, versus 10 of the Dark Order. What'd you think about this one, man?
Yeah, I thought it did build, like I say, it built nicely for the pay-per-view. It started with Brody Lee coming out with 10, effectively promoting him to say, "I'll give you the job of, I want you to injure Moxley." So, to weaken him for the pay-per-view match. So that was good. Obviously, without Stuart Grayson and Evil Uno there, he's needed some sort of middle management, and yeah, that's what 10's become like. The one just below, above the minions, but below Brody Lee.
Yeah.
So obviously, he tells him so he told him to take a knee, didn't he, and then promoted him effectively like that. And then the match was pretty much as you'd expect. Obviously, he wanted him to injure him, but nice explosive start from Jon Moxley. 10 did get some moves in, which were nice. They were good. Yeah. Like I say, we were on about last week, everyone getting a little shout, but obviously quickly got on to a Dirty Deeds, which I'm going to call a Dirty Deeds because there's definitely a difference between the Dirty Deeds paradigm shift and the full legs in the air paradigm shift. So I feel like this is a Dirty Deeds, but we just can't call it that.
Right.
Because obviously he didn't go for the finish there, did he? He picked him up then, Gotch pile driver, looked sick, still didn't go for it. He obviously wants to send a message to Brody Lee.
Yeah.
And then hit the full paradigm shift. Yeah, put the full paradigm shift, legs right up in the air, and he come crashing down on the top of his head, man. He took that like a champion. Sick. Yeah, and then that was awesome. And he jumps out of the ring, started throwing chairs in. Thought, "Hey, what's happening here?" Grabbed a mic, and then he trapped his arm, didn't he? Trapped his arm in the chair, and he's like, got on the mic and said, "Brody Lee, I'm calling you out. You either come out here or I'm gonna break his arm."
Yeah.
And what I liked here, because I was on about last week, how when Moxley didn't go after his title, he just let Brody Lee, even though he was so close, walk away. Moxley said here, "Oh, I ain't chasing you. That's my belt." And just that line there fixed that from last week. It's like, no, I ain't just going to ridiculously chase you around backstage. It's like, that's my belt. You'll bring it to me when I take it back off you at the pay-per-view. So I thought that was good. And then obviously Brody Lee's, and then he goes, "Come out here now and I'll break his arm." And Brody Lee nicely, which I liked said, "We all got to make sacrifices. So I'm leaving," as if like just leaving 10 to get his arm broken. So that helped, like, even though it's like Brody Lee's leaving, he's not running away though. It's completely of his own accord. Yeah. He's like, that's on his terms. And then Moxley looks like a badass babyface. It was like, it was a really good segment and match overall. Yeah, it did exactly what he needed to do.
No, definitely. I think right off the bat with that promo from Brody Lee, it was funny how when you only have 5 or 6 people in the audience, it's so jarring. I can imagine how tough it would be to have the peanut gallery there, because you could see him being here, like, he's like, "What do you think of this?" "No." And it's like, oh, geez, man. You know what I mean? Like, you can hear this person directly. But then they reference the Dark Order then and now. And now I'm wondering if Uno and Grayson are going to come back and be like a wolf pack or what? Like, what's going to happen? Because their absence is definitely something. And the fact that they're now referencing then and now means that I think there's going to be a rift.
Well, maybe because it helps. Obviously, Stu Grayson and Evil Uno are I believe in Canada out there because of the travel restrictions. That's why they just can't be on the show. So it's created this disconnect between, we've never seen the Dark Order together since Brody Lee's debut. We've never seen it. So it's not, it don't feel like the same thing. It is sort of two separate things. And I would quite like to maybe see that. Yeah. Like as if maybe Brody Lee got into his head, into like their heads to sort of take over the thing. And they want to, no, we want to stick to what our original idea was. And then you could have that could be
or even if it's just a match. Maybe it's just a match. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely, man. And so, yeah, that was it. Like you said, I thought it was good. Like I said, it shows off Mox is strong. It builds into the thing. I just love the end there with Brody just says, yeah, you know what? We all have to make sacrifices. And it's like, I know, no, he's not going to just walk, right? Like, geez, man, no.
Yeah, I loved it. It was fantastic, that bit. It was good. Like you said, in the current time, everyone's got to make sacrifices. So, yeah, basically, break his arm.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so the next one we had MJF, came out, the jerk ass MJF. That was funny, man. I love that. MJF is just so impressive. He as soon as he comes out, he walks into the ring, his presence about him. The one thing I really like about the way they're presenting him is just that he is just so impressive. You know, they showed that impressive clip, that clip of Wardlow just mauling Marco, just throwing him into that barricade there. Like this, Marco creates the best spots, I think. And that's why I was looking so much forward to this match. And so I just want to hear again, like what you thought of it here, because I thought they made MJF look massive here because of Marco's small size. But definitely, what was your take on it, man? MJF and Marco stunt.
Yeah, like the story of the match, like your classic schoolyard bully, wasn't it? MJF not taking him seriously, posing, and like he grabbed him at one point. He's like, "Who's this child? Who's this kid?"
Yeah, you know? Yeah.
And then he forced him to eat his own what we call here bogies. You call them buggers, I imagine. Made him so it was like proper bully. He was being a bully. Yeah, and like bullies aren't nice. So when Marco then got on top, and you were using his agility and his speed because of his size, you wanted him to stick it to the bully. Oh yeah, and it was believable, even though he's small. The booking well, that it was believable for a second, but then obviously ultimately quickly put to bed when MJF does decide to take it seriously. Yeah, and shoulder breaker into the Salt Earth submission, and again, great build for the pay-per-view because Marco Stunt came out alone. I thought that was interesting, but that's probably because of the bully dynamic of the match. You can't have him being bullied while you've got big Luchasaurus there and extra
exactly.
So I thought that's probably why they didn't come out. So then after the match, he was being patronising then on the mic, wanted to Marco Stunt. Yeah. And he had Wardlow hold him so he could hit him with a ring. Yeah. And that's when we had Jurassic Express coming for the save. Yeah. And I liked that classic heel, what they do. MJF drops straight to the back and rolls out ring, runs away. But Wardlow done. Wardlow's a big scary man. He just casually walked out of the ring.
But that was kind of clumsy. Yeah, that was kind of clumsy.
No, that's like that's in a second, isn't it? But like Jungle Man gets up to him, but he still walks down slowly. He's just like, the boss says go, but if I want to stay, we can do this, you know. But then, like you say, that one it looked mean. But then when he trips, when he was getting round to the entrance side, and he tripped off the side of the ring, took away his edge for a second. But then that created a little opportunity for a second face-off between Luchasaurus.
Well, that was,
and again, it made me think, "Oh, now that's a match. Yeah, and then
it was,
So it built for the pay-per-view perfectly. And built that can continue that feud between them. We can definitely have more going forward after the pay-per-view with them too.
Yeah, that's another two-team faction there. I thought it was really interesting that MJF has no loss in the AEW. That's what they brought up there. I thought that was really cool, like how they bring up these points. But I love that spot, Wardlow Reigns. I'm starting to call him Wardlow Reigns because I think he's just Roman's older brother. He's on the outside. MJF with a huge toss of Marco across the ring. And I just love how he just like face palms him, right? He's just like, bah, get out of my way, you little boy, right? Like, oh no. And what I thought was really cool, one point in the match where MJF has him up on the corner and MJF is yelling at Tony Schiavone from the ring to the announce table, but you can clearly hear the conversation. So he's like, say this, Tony. No, I'm not saying that. And it's like, come on. You already heard it on the air. That's hilarious, right? That's so funny. But yeah, like that shoulder breaker looked so deadly. Just the way it reminded me of somebody just wrestling with their little brother, you know, just because it was just like he just picks him up and he just like boom. and right into that Fujiwara, that salt of the earth. That's such a classic, simple move that is so effective that he just makes it look. It's great. I love it. It's a good finish. And then, like you said, that posing up Luchasaurus and Wardlow. I mean, I don't know if I just love big men or what it is, but that's just something that right away I was like, that could definitely, yes, like make that happen. But like just like you said,
big athletic men. They're both big athletic men. They're brilliant. That will be that would be a fantastic match.
And they have to build that one up.
Match, lots of big boots and big just forearms. Not that sort of big man match.
Yeah,
Keith Lee, Dan Djokovic. These guys can dive. These guys can flip. They can do it.
Yeah. No, I'm hoping we do that one good. I'm hoping we do that one really good here. But yeah, and then so we keep going on here. They build up Arn Anderson and Jake the Snake. They replayed that weak ass barricade spot from last week, which just really makes you wonder who owns the Ford or who they owe Ford money to, because like they're just like, oh, look at this bang, and it's like, oh gosh, you guys, like highlighting
remind you of how terrible it was.
Yeah, right. Just have that chuckle again. But then Jake the Snake, Arn Anderson, Tony Schiavone comes in as the mediator. There were so many good points in this one. I think one of the big lines I picked up on that Jake just killed Arn with was, people have dreams and people have nightmares, but those aren't real. Lance Archer is real. When he said nightmares. When he said nightmares aren't real, I'm just like, you just buried like decades. The American dream, the American nightmare. You just buried it. It was such a good exchange. Jake the Snake again, the physicality, you know what I mean? Like it was just something that you're like, hey, these are two absolute legends that are just like facing off here, right? I would have loved to see Arn Anderson in less of a. I know that they're representing each other's teams, but I feel like Jake was more self-representative of himself against Arn, and Arn was just kind of like representing Cody, you know what I mean? And that's what they were doing. They're representing their wrestlers, but I feel like Jake took a different approach to this promo, and he really sort of took on Arn himself, whereas Arn was just kind of like, okay, but Cody, and he just kept putting over his boy, which is great. But Jake is, I feel like Jake has got this new revitalization of himself, and he just knows that he's money, right? So he's helping Lance, but at the same time, he knows that he still has this power of words that can captivate people, right? It's cool, man. I love it.
Well, that's exactly my first thoughts. I'm like, okay, it's two legends, two Hall of Famers who are actively involved in an ongoing storyline, a big storyline. It's not just nostalgia hits of like, oh, here they are, and then they're gone next week, or here they are most often to bury someone. It's like, no, they're intertwined with the story, the part of the story. So they're working in the wrestling game, like genuinely at the top of the game without the wrestling, because they're past that. But they can teach all these people around them all that skill and insight, And it's like, it's brilliant seeing it. So that was my first thought, like fantastic. And then it started well, like you say, with that killer line with the dreams and nightmares aren't real. Yeah, that was what a line. But then when Arn started talking, like you say, more about Cody, and it sort of lost its way a bit there. It seemed a bit wordy, and and it sort of weave off, and then Jake were interrupting. So it sort of ended off a bit weak. And then obviously they flipped the table and the refs broke it up, didn't they? Because obviously they're not going to actually get physical. But the fact that two legends are actually involved in a story, it's fun. It's good. It's great. It's brilliant. And like Arn did make me want Cody to win, because what's been good, because we're having Jake back. When he first came back, that excellent line with like Cody Rhodes, or never turn your back on someone you respect or someone you're afraid of, and he turned his back. That were like, and that's the top babyface, the guy who you love and want to win stuff, but you just got like, dude, you just got owned there. Fantastic. What's this all about? And then we had Lance Archer introduced, and he's so big and strong and athletic. And so the team's fantastic. We love them two together. I, as a fan, liked it. And at the beginning, a few wanted Lance to win because I just liked how it were all being presented. But obviously, it's going up against Cody, and Cody's the babyface, and we like Cody too. So I think all Jake's like not so nice misogynistic views and that lately have been to push the fact that they're definitely the heels and you don't want these to win. Yeah. Because like we were almost talking about it last week, but when he was doing it, it's like, it's not cool what he was doing, and you didn't like him in them moments. And you want Cody to stand up against this. So I think that's a good way of creating the full heel and face dynamic. As in, no, we don't want you to win because it's so cool to have Jake, Lance, and Lance is brilliant. It's like, no, we now want Cody to win to overcome these guys.
Yeah,
perfect.
Yeah,
fantastic story.
No, it's really good how they're flipping this whole narrative around here, because like honestly, at first you call yourself a Nightmare Family, you're doing bad things. You got MJF. You're aligning yourself with like an obvious bad guy. It's like, are you guys supposed to be bad guys? Like, what's going on here? But you're doing good things. You have this really nice puppy. Like, I don't know. It was all over the place. But now I like where Cody's coming from in this story. Again, every time I think of this though, I just think of that truck now. I just see that barricade coming down and Cody having to crawl over it. I hope they really do have a good match.
This whole feud is like when Jake came out and did the cut promo on Cody, and then you had Lance just appear behind him the week after, and we're like, obviously I didn't know who he was. A lot of people won't know who he was. They'll be like, well, who's that? And then they had the promo of him just beating the crap out of 40 people in the woods. Yeah. And they were like, that's all. And I swapped that round. So we'd have had Jake introduce himself, then have that promo, then have him show up on the. That's the only thing I'd change there. And then this is like when it cut to Cody, just have him driving straight off the road, straight across the car park, straight into the barrier, and dive at that's the only thing I'd change in this field. It's been doing really well.
Yeah,
and I'm looking forward to that match.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. And this is again, like I think we're gonna beat this horse to death, but they're doing a really good job of building up this show on the weekend here. I mean, like, it's Thursday now. It's Thursday morning. And I'm like, hey, come on, Saturday night. You know what I mean? Like, let's do this here. Because that was good stuff. So, again, on Jake and Anderson, it was good. It was good. It did its job for sure. And then so we got Darby Allen vignette. And that was some real art school symbolism stuff there, boy. Oh, my gosh. That was some real, my parents gave me 10 grand to make a movie. And this is what I did with it. I love Darby Allen, man. I love Darby Allen.
Like he's submitting his work to his tutors or something.
Yeah, right? Like this is exactly why I love AEW, because they give these guys the freedom. Like, and then right after that, we got Pac. We got Pac with his promo, and that was so dope, the Death Triangle. But it was just him again, It just reminded me of the stuff we used to do, like at home, or you're watching people do now, just promos at home, like just getting creative in their living room. Saturday Night Live is a good example of the same thing. They're just doing it from home now. So to see Pac at home cutting that promo with the editing and stuff, man. I mean, I don't know if he's doing his own editing and then they submit it like that, or if they just give the long clip to AEW and then they let them go from there. But wow, man. Of course, it led up to OC and Rey Fenix, which we saw last week. And then, of course, right out of the bat, OC comes out, he's doing his entrance, and you're just kind of like, this is chill. And then out of nowhere, Rey Fenix just lunges. It's almost like they catapulted him. Like they got Wardlow to just throw Rey Fenix off camera because he flew past him, misses this huge kick. OC just plays it off, just walks off, just like it's this weird moment where Phoenix is just looking like, huh, right? Like that was supposed to do it, right? But then it was like
call back to last week, because that's exactly what happened last week. Cassidy was stood there and he went for that exact same kick knee, and obviously we're ready for him this time with just the fact. So it was like that were a nice callback. Yeah, like he hadn't forgot. He's not an idiot. He might look a bit, he might act a bit daft sometimes, but he's not an idiot. So we're ready for that. And then carried on with his swag like he does.
But that was it. The fact that he just carried on with the swagger is the thing that confused Phoenix, I think, the most, because after you miss an attack like that, I mean, your next reaction is to, I'm going to attack you now, right? I'm going to hit you back. But the fact that OC just kept walking on, and Phoenix is just like, so, like, this is just accenting the fact that I missed you even more, right? Like, what the hell? That's good. But again, I can't say enough good things about Orange Cassidy. I'm watching more of his independent matches now, like the stuff that's on YouTube. And the guy can wrestle, man. When he first came out, I was like, okay, what's this gimmick here? Like, he's fake kicking people in the leg, and these guys are getting into it, and like it's funny, but it was like really like Chikara kind of clowny stuff. And I was like, okay, I'm not into that kind of wrestling. I'm not going to be into the whole that kind of stuff. I think Colt Cabana gets a little bit too clowny for me, so that sort of stuff. But that's what I like about AEW is it's a little bit of a taste for everybody. And what they've shown with OC is that this guy is so legit, man. He's got so much skill to back up what is just like this chill comedy. And I think it sums it up really cool in this meme I saw where it said, I forget the exact wording, but it was kind of like chill all the time and try when you have to. You know what I mean? Like that's pretty much it. And that's the OC mantra, right? So that was pretty cool. But what did you think about this match, man?
Yeah, I think it's testament to AEW's booking. They've booked Orange Cassidy perfect. Like you say, it started with comedy wrestling. And it is comedy, and comedy wrestling's got its place. But then he's going up against very non-comedy wrestling characters, like say Pac and Phoenix, and having but still being able to hold his own. And like even though you're still getting the fun comedy spots, we've already seen he's legit enough. Like you say, when he tries. It's not a case of he's just like daft defeat. It's just when he deems fit to put the effort in. Yeah. And like Ray Phoenix is one of the best in the world. The guy's fantastic. And it would just counter. And Cassidy's keeping up with him. And like, but with his hands in his pockets, you know what I mean? And then when he does want to go for stuff, it's like they've booked him where it's like, it's non-serious. It's got sort of comedy, but at the same time, you flick a switch and he's legit. And it's okay for him to hang with like who we consider some of the top end, the stronger guys. He can hang with them. Like you say, he's not going to win, and he don't win, but it don't matter. It don't matter.
Yeah. No, I think Mike Rose, our buddy from the cruise there, Mike said it best. I read it on Facebook. I've had this conversation with Mike where he's made that observation that Orange Cassidy is a drunken master, and he's amazing at what he does. You know, he's an amazing, like these things, like these moves. I got these notes here. Like these Orange Cassidy's drop kicks just always amaze me, but that deadly double foot stomp to the back of the head, man, by Phoenix, that was like some of these moves, like Phoenix, like you said, he's amazing at what he does. Him using the middle rope to jump back into the ring was amazing. I love when I see that lucha style where they use the middle rope like that off to go to the outside. And that sort of speaks to AEW and about that high ramp entrance that we've seen in other organizations like Impact and things like this. I love that because it really creates an opportunity for those kind of spots. You know, sometimes we see those ramps because guys like Jake the Snake or wrestlers like, in Impact that might have mobility issues, or WWE's had mobility issues. You know what I mean? In smaller arenas, you'll see that ramp being used so that the guys can get in the ring easier, but it creates amazing places for these moves. Like he's running into the ring, steps his foot on the middle rope and jumps over the top rope into the ring. That's just amazing, man. Like and that diving DDT. I mean, God damn, man. I thought that was going to be the finish for sure. There were so many places in this match. There's so many places in this match that were just like, okay, that's it. No, okay, you guys, wow, but it didn't feel forced. You know how sometimes you'll see a match and it's like, okay, false finish. This actually felt like it was compelling enough that it was like, okay, that's got to be it. Oh, wow, that's not it. Okay, now that's it. That wasn't, you know what I mean? Like what? And then we had, of course,
to be it. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, like that springboard sunset flip powerbomb from Phoenix into the ring there. That was like, what are you doing, you guys? This is stuff that you see, like, this is so finessed. These are guys who are at the top of their game. Like you see fails all the time on Botchamania of guys that are trying to do this on the indies. But these are guys that are just like perfected their art, like it's top level. No matter what you want to say about booking anywhere or wrestling in general, man, AEW right now is showing some top level wrestling, definitely. And then we had Kip Sabian comes down with the ladder. I thought that ladder was huge. I was like, what the hell is like, what could like this? It's like, it's got to be something like comedic, I said, because this ladder is so tall. It wasn't just a regular, 10-foot ladder or whatever. It was a huge ladder. He comes out to observe the match, and I guess effectively distracts Orange Cassidy, and Phoenix lands a sick low blow, and that cutter finish, man, like that was perfect heel finish to that match to say, okay, that's setting that up, like this Death Triangle OC stuff here, the best friends. SCU comes out, and they start teasing this ladder bump, and I'm like, well, yeah, right, like what are they going to do? And then Kip Sabian actually took a bump off the top of that ladder into the ring. Thought that was super impressive. Jimmy Havoc comes out. The brawl ensues. Phoenix jumps over the rope again. He dives out to the outside. Pretty much misses. He powerbombed himself. he kicked somebody, but he lands on the floor. And I love how he's
wasn't it? It was just pure impact, just like it wasn't nice. It wasn't nice.
Like, and so
he's eight guys.
Yeah, you missed 8 guys. And so while he's being helped out, Colt Cabana jumps out and lands on his corpse. Right? Like
he just moonsault on his straight out of nowhere, boom.
Yeah.
Lands on all them.
But poor Ray Phoenix is still being attended to, right? So there was no time in between to get Ray Phoenix out of there. No. So all of a sudden, and Colt is not a small dude, right? So, but then OC with his huge launch, and he again, man, these guys have to get, I don't know if it's placing or if it's just overhyped because they're so pumped for the show this weekend. But again, at Orange Cassidy, I feel like he missed almost everybody in that pile, and he just like hit the floor. But then right away, you could see him get back up and posture up. I like how he's gonna like as the potential winner, and I think it's totally possible. I love how he just puts his hand up there and he gives us a little thumbs up. Like, I don't know, man. There was a lot going on at the end. It was mayhem, but again, it's exactly what I think we want from that match. So it's doing a perfect job of building to what they're going to be doing.
Yeah, that's it. This match between these two, both in the ladder match, it essentially was to build the ladder match for everyone. That's why we had everyone coming and getting involved, didn't we? But it was great, like you said. Phoenix dived too short, Cassidy dives too long. But it meant that in the dynamic of the match, Phoenix got the win, but OC stood tall, which is good. Yeah, and like you said, I won't mind. I don't necessarily think he will win the ladder match, but I like to see him because of the way he's been presented. That we know he's can be funny but also serious. I'd quite like to see him against Moxley. Yeah. I think that'd be a great.
Oh yeah,
we can get into that in videos anyway, can't we, and such. But yeah, so yeah, perfect build to the ladder match. I'm excited for that match, especially because it's for a world title shot.
Yeah,
Money in the Bank, effectively, innit? And you know, WWE in a different way with their presentation of it. It looks like here we're going to get a classic ladder match for a title shot. Awesome.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's what we want. Is I love how it is like, even just to touch on that Money in the Bank really quick. I think Jim Cornette even said, "Why didn't the match just happen on the roof then?" You know what I mean? Why didn't it just start on the roof? Like, why did they have to run through the whole building? You know what I mean? Like, could have just been a classic ladder match right there. So women's tag match coming up here. Nyla Rose tagging with Britt Baker versus Chris Statlander and Shida. And so again, this is of course just setting up the title match here. But then it also set up another match too at Double or Nothing, which is Baker versus Statlander. So that's cool. Again, Nyla with this power, she's crazy strength here, just dominating. I think they told a good story here with Shida though. With that, I love that clip they showed with the kendo stick, right? Oh my gosh. Like this, just the physicality they're showing here. I think Shida's going to take the title. I don't know. But anyways, the match itself, Nyla, huge power. By the end of it there, Nyla with the big beast bomb, she brought out the table. I thought we were going to see Shida go through this table for sure. Statlander with the save. Shida made a huge superplex though, man. It was almost too close for me, that superplex, where it was like she almost, I'm surprised that Shida didn't hurt herself because of how she almost landed. It looked like she landed kind of partly on the table. But that was a super big match. I thought it was super cool to showcase both. Again, I'm becoming so much more of a fan of Britt Baker now that I'm watching more of her. They've done so much with her in a year. I think they've done so much with everybody, really. I'm so torn, though, because Statlander is my favorite in the women's division, I think. Chris Statlander is definitely my favorite in the women's division, but do I see her taking the title anytime soon? I don't think so. So I kind of hope that Shida can get it done.
Well, it seems like Britt Baker might be injured, so that could change that. It could be like Statlander versus Nyla eventually, is what I'm thinking. Because did you see the spot where Britt Baker were in the corner and the both like
with the knee there, yeah.
All Nyla's weight came down on Britt Baker's knee. She's laid in the corner, to take it, but she lands on it, and it looks rough. And you could see on Britt Baker's face that she were definitely in pain. And then obviously later on in the match, it cut to him. We saw her getting checked out by the doctor, and she didn't get involved again. So maybe it did seem a bit serious-ish. So maybe that Statlander match won't go ahead at the pay-per-view now.
I think that, I mean, like, this is what we're really hoping. You really hope that nobody's going to ever be hurt, seriously. But I think it did, like, they even commented about how it had to become a 2-on-1. And I think it was just sort of, it showed again Nyla's strength and power just to even take on a 2-on-1 match like that. So I'm hoping that it's nothing serious. And they just sort of used it to, maybe it was even planned. It was a work, you know what I mean? I mean, I hope.
Maybe it was a work. And that's just the way, it were all on a knee. It did look.
Yeah.
Because I remember as soon as it happened, I was like, ooh. And then maybe that's because I thought that when I saw the doctor, I'm more in the mindset of maybe maybe even I just thought, it's heel work or whatever.
But I did hear the conversation.
But then Statlander at the end, like you say in the table showdown, Statlander at the end looked a bit confused for a bit, like maybe she was supposed to be brawling with Britt then and didn't get, to fuel their feud, but then but didn't get to. So I don't know, but like Statlander's an impressive woman as well. She had again, big power moves on Nyla, so she showed her strength. So Statlander's she's cool. She'd like you say, awesome. But Nyla coming over both. But I thought Statlander would have took the pin here since that Shida and Nyla are facing each other at the pay-per-view. I felt like that, you know what I mean? They had an out there with Statlander. Yeah. So it's like, why would you want Nyla Rose effectively winning clean? What had then become a 2-on-1 match? Yeah. So it felt like too clean almost, like Yeah. And then, but I suppose at least she got to stand tall at the end, but I just thought that would have been of a disconnect there. It would have been better for Statlander to take it surely. But I suppose that don't look well for her feud with Britt Baker, so maybe they'll just try to keep it separate. Maybe it's like Nyla dominates, so if Shida can overcome that, she's already beat her once clean, even with backup. So maybe it's more of the underdog story. So that's probably why it's pinned her. It just shocked me at first, but maybe that's why. But it was a good build.
It definitely was. It's always a question when you see decisions like that. You wonder if it was a booking decision or if there's just something longer down the road, like if it's a longer view that we're not seeing, right?
But a great match and built perfectly again. We've been saying it all day, but
yeah. Then we saw Mox come out. We saw Mox cut a good promo. I love, man. It's been said to death, but I like Jon Moxley a lot more than I liked Dean Ambrose, and I think it shows that it's all about what you let a person do and just express themselves, So I'm not saying that it doesn't happen anywhere in WWE, but man, Jon Moxley has really run with himself since he's left WWE. So I'm super happy.
The wrestler, the character.
Yeah.
So it's organic. So the wrestler knows the character, and then so we know them. Then you know what I mean? Yeah. They become the character.
Absolutely. And then Shawn Spears news. I really want to see more of this. SSN. Oh my gosh, Dustin Rhodes, man, getting just dragged over the coals here by Shawn Spears. Like, oh my gosh, announces that but I mean, like, who retires a guy? Who announces a guy's retirement and then challenges him to a match, right? Like this, it was all over the place, but I love it because Shawn Spears is just so good on the mic like that. I thought it was super cool of him to just pick up and be like, you know what, I'm making a match now. And then right afterwards, they're like, here's the promo card for it. You know what? It's on
quick.
now.
Yeah, that was too quick.
Yeah, it was. It was a little bit too quick.
But there's clearly a graphic already made.
That's what I mean. But like,
you should have done this earlier, and 20 minutes later, Dustin's seen the video, he's pissed. We've got a match. Yeah. Or even without that said, what a great way to build a little random pre-show match.
Yeah. Or like even fantastic. Save it till Saturday and say, hey, Dustin has accepted. Breaking news: Dustin's accepted. Yeah. But like, we didn't like, it's just, this is where, and this is the one thing I'm going to say, the criticism I'm going to say is this is to me where it started to feel like things were a little bit rushed in the rest of it. Like, there are so many well done promos and stories. We're talking about the Nightmare family, and Archer. We're talking about the title match. We're talking about every other story they've done. But then it's kind of like, also we're going to see Statlander versus Baker. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then now he's just challenging this match, and it all seems kind of stacked on and rushed. We got into the Double or Nothing promo. Of course, it's an exciting show. It's going to be huge. But yeah, I think they could have done a little bit better with the pacing, because this whole last week was just kind of like, but it's like, okay, where's the, like, just stretch it a bit more, right? Stretch it out a bit more. So yeah, that's what I was talking. Yeah. Double or Nothing promo.
Well.
So they played all the matches. Yeah, they led up to all the matches there. And then next week there's going to be a battle royal on Dynamite, and the winner faces the TNT champion. That's going to be exciting.
What was that? Sorry, what, battle royal on?
Yeah, there's going to be they showed a promo for Dynamite. Maybe it's one of those things we don't see because we're watching different feeds. But they said next week.
The Five Network. Yeah, so it's a little bit different.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So they said next week on Dynamite, there's going to be a battle royal. No attendees or no participants have been announced, but they said the winner is going to face the newly crowned TNT champion. So they're making a number one contender for that title right away.
Straight into that. No messing up. Yeah,
it's awesome. And then we got a killer Sammy promo here. Sammy Guevara, man. I remember there was a clip we saw. What is it? I saw on the internet. He let off a Botchamania. He started off one of those Botchamania clips, and he's like, "Hey, I'm Sammy Guevara. You might not know me now, but you will very soon, right?" And it was just like 8 months before his debut, like his big pull on AEW and stuff. So it's just like, wow, man, this kid like called his shot hard here, right? Sammy's always entertaining to me. I think he's just that annoying little brother or cousin that people sort of know, or maybe that kid down the street, but he's just cocky as hell, but shows he's talented, man. And I think he did that against.
Yeah, likable as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. And I watch his vlog. I caught into his vlog like a month or two ago, and I just immediately watched back at episodes. And that's all I do now is just watch his vlog because I just think he's just so likable, man. He's such a good guy. You can see that he is appreciating the ride he's on, totally. But then. Like, honestly, I think they bring up, so he faced Matt Hardy, the main event of Dynamite this week here. The big one here, Sammy Guevara versus Matt Hardy. I like that they brought up the fact that Matt Hardy has been wrestling for 27 years and Sammy Guevara is only 26. So that means that Matt Hardy's wrestling career is literally older than this kid, is, right? That's nuts.
I don't feel that old, Matt Hardy. Does say that? Yeah, this full adult could be his child.
Yeah, right? Yeah. But this match here, I don't understand. Like Sammy, I love Sammy's strikes, man. Sammy's got these wild strikes that really give you the impression that while he doesn't have this intimidating size, he has this ability to knock you out, to do this damage to you, that he can win a match, and with this wild offense that he has. And I don't think I can even start this conversation off without just saying that that twist of fate reversal he did, on top of the way he takes the twist of fate, like the way he insists on taking these bumps, is just mind-boggling, man. Like you're gonna, kid, man, you're making highlight reels, but you're also gonna be in a wheelchair in 5 years. Like this is crazy, man. Like just crazy.
Yeah, man. The moves on the top of the head, man. He can sell them perfectly. Any move, he can spike it beautifully. And like you say, the nice athleticism of reversing that with a handstand.
Yeah,
he's great, Sammy.
Right into that kick there. Yeah, you could tell, and the way he hit that kick afterwards, after he hit that twist of fate reversal, he hit like a handstand instead of going down with it, and then he just kicks Matt Hardy in the back of the head. Oh man, it was such a good spot. There was so many times here where I guess Hardy biting the toes of Sammy, and this huge knee again from Sammy.
He's rising. A bit heelish, I think.
Yeah,
a bit heelish of Matt Hardy to
take
the shoe off. Right? But it made you like Sammy wasn't as smug as he normally is in this match. It was a bit like he were almost the baby face if it wasn't for the story itself. And it does show a lot of potential for his future as that likable, high-flying, fantastic baby face if he ever does down the line, say, turn on Jericho, or, it shows the potential of what he could be. And so that were interesting. But I think obviously Matt Hardy's a bit pissed off about Vanguard 1.
Yeah.
So screw you, Sammy.
He's on a bit of a tear. I think that's what it is. I think all rules are off now here for Matt Hardy. Damascus is fully going to take the reins going into this weekend here, and just I think from what we've seen here. But again, there were so many big moments in this match here. That final twist of fate again, the springboard cutter. There were so many points in this match again where it felt like such a big money match. And I found myself looking at it and being like, it was 1 a.m. when I finally finished watching the show, 1:30 in the morning. And I looked and I was just like, oh my gosh, man, this tonight on its own has been pay-per-view level worthy wrestling. You know what I mean? There's been enough entertainment for me tonight to say shit, I'm getting enough out of my TSN subscription. I actually pay like $6 a month to have the app so I can watch Dynamite because my cable provider doesn't carry it. So that's how dedicated I am.
I pay $5 a month. Right, yeah.
Yeah, so that's it. And then we're seeing this. Yeah, so Sam loves bumps. The inner circle comes out. They show that they're beating up Kenny. That's great. That was a great moment there where there was this moment of like, okay, we've got Kenny here up against this post, and we're gonna beat the crap out of him. Like he's about to die, and you're like, holy crap! Like we got to get out there. This is actually gonna bleed out now into something bigger. To lead up for this big stadium stampede match. Who comes back? Young Bucks are back. That's cool. They were wearing masks at first. Is that what I saw? I think they were wearing masks when they were up top. Yeah, and then they came down. They kind of fell off. And so we got that. Bucks are back. And then this crazy spot. I love this. It's almost like out of a fucking cartoon, like out of The Simpsons, where it's just like, who the hell is this little person like running in the back in the very distance, just coming up, and then you just see it's fucking Hangman, and then oh my gosh, he cleaned house,
galloping like a horse, like a majestic beast.
Right,
did the 100-yard dash record time in cowboy boots. Boom.
Yeah, bang! It was crazy. And I love how they say full of P and V. I love how he just says they're full of P and V here. And of course, the line of inner circle jerk is just too much to get by, man. Oh my gosh, to hear somebody say that on TV, inner circle jerk, that's hilarious. But I thought what was really cool was, and this is what I picked up on last night on Jericho's Instagram, on the AEW Instagram, was the Elite have won this face-off. They've scared off, the inner circle is shying off. They're taking off here. And you got the four of them, and they're standing, and they got the Elite there, the big things going on, the big pull-away shot that's supposed to be their big go-home, 5 of them saying, we are the Elite, be Elite, be Elite. But where's Hangman going, man? There's still so much of a rift here within the group because Hangman is still, dude, man, this is Hangman. I think this is so good. This is so good for Hangman. The fact that he came in and he's like, you know what? I got you guys back, but I'm still so conflicted. So that last shot of him walking off alone while they kind of stood there was just like, wow. And then to say that they didn't even go back. They didn't follow him. There wasn't like a Hangman come back with us. Like, they stayed for the shot. I think that really does speak some underlying tones about the vanity of the group. That's ultimately going to be their downfall to the inner circle this Saturday at Double or Nothing, because family, man. There's no ego in the inner circle here, man. We've got 5 awesome guys that have put their egos aside to be the bigger thing here, and that's the inner circle. So that's the Elite's going to find that out on Saturday.
Well, like you say, what a good finish. Like you say, them all coming back. We haven't seen these guys for months, like the Young Bucks and Hangman. So it was great that it just took one look at Matt Jackson to sort of say, I still don't trust you, and then to walk away. So it's like, even though the inner circle backed away, the backed away as a unit, as a complete unit, as a team, where and the Elite stood tall but still fractured and broken. So it brought all that story back to the front. And like you say, I think that's what will ultimately cost them and have the inner circle beat them. Yeah. And then it'll be their own downfall. It'll be their own downfall that comes to it. And that's fun. That's brilliant because that creates so many stories off the back of that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It makes you wonder if this was going to happen at Blood and Guts. If this was supposed to be the general, like that was supposed to be the genesis of it, the end, or sorry, not the genesis, but the end of it here was that Blood and Guts was going to be the split of the Elite and what we're seeing right now at the Stadium Stampede. But because of COVID, we couldn't see Blood and Guts. So now it makes you wonder if they're going to draw this out until they can do Blood and Guts, or will this just be the end of it now? And then they're going to, I would love to see the Elite start feuding after this, really, because there's so much to be told there, really. I mean, like, you got the tag team champions who haven't been wrestling together. It's just, there's so much there.
Well, that's it with the Blood and Guts thing. Like you say, obviously that would have been where to end this feud. That's what it was supposed to be. But what's the fact that that's been now cancelled and moved and we've got this match, you can have the inner circle win this match, and then in a year's time, then we can finally have the Blood and Guts match that the Elite wanted. Like I say, that's their terms. And then you can have a year of them even like falling out. Yeah, you can have in a feud, but then in a year's time, they could be back together and stronger than ever via some fantastic up and down storylines, heel and face turns. but back to the heel, the Inner Circle versus the Elite, and the Elite then finally overcome. I think that'd be better long-term booking to have the Inner Circle win this because of their own faults, their own breakups inside the group.
Honestly, here just to close up now, I think that the closing thoughts here on this episode of Dynamite, like on was it the May 20th episode of Dynamite? Wow, man, what a go-home show! This was such a strong presentation by AEW on all fronts. I think there were very no stumbles in my opinion. I think honestly it was a really solid show. They built up an incredible card here. It might be a little bit stacked. I have to look at the full card again because I just remember watching that Double or Nothing promo and being like, damn, there's a lot of matches going on here. And I was like, fuck, that's a lot of matches. And then it was like, and then the kickoff. And I'm like, holy crap, there's still a buy-in before this? Like, oh my gosh. So it's going to be a lot of wrestling. And I am not going to complain about that. Let me tell you this, okay? I love AEW wrestling. So I think, honestly, out of 5, I would definitely give today a 4. I think this episode of Dynamite got a 4 out of 5 for me just because it was so solid. There were so many good stories told. Everybody got a chance to flex. And we saw some pretty wild stuff, man. It was really entertaining.
I think maybe 4, 4.5 because it pushed every match. Every segment was needed, and it built to the pay-per-view perfectly. We're a fantastic go-home show. And even like the little Shawn Spears thing, I liked that because it was just a little simple way to. That was just a nonsense match, just a pre-show match. Normally they'd just be thrown together. Oh, by the way, this match is happening. But that was just like a little thing to do to build. So everything got built. Yeah, everything got built up nicely. So, and I'm looking forward to every match. I'm invested in every match. I know I want to win. I know I don't want to win every match. It's a fantastic show. So yeah, I think I'll go 4.5 because with it being a go-home show, there's a lot of pressure with that, and I think they absolutely delivered. Yes,
and that's what it is. There's a lot of pressure because people want to tune in and say, okay, like this is, the go-home shows really are the key because that's when you get to remind everybody about the storylines going into the weekend, why you should give a shit, why you should spend your $50 of hard-earned money, whatever you're paying for the show. This is the sell point here. For a lot of people, and I know a lot of people, WWE go-home shows are the give or take, right? And that's been the standard for decades, has been, will I buy the show this weekend? What are they going to show me here to convince me, right? And I think as far as AEW this weekend or this week, they've convinced the hell out of me. Like right now, I should just do this. I should have planned this better. I'm going to go on my Fight app and I'm going to I'm going to pre-buy it right now because I'm ready. I should have pre-bought it already for sure. But yeah, definitely, man. It was awesome. So just a reminder, everybody, thank you all for tuning in here today. So thank you for watching. We are going to be doing predictions, like a pre-show for Double or Nothing. And then, of course, a reaction show because we just love making content, man. It's fucking great. It's awesome time here. And the Triple D. So, Dean, what do you got to say, man? What's your sign-off for this week? How would you like to send our viewers off into the wonderful sunset here?
I'd say, I don't know, just be beautiful, be happy, smile at everyone you meet, and just be nice to each other and be beautiful. There, well.
Exactly. So well said. Thank you guys for tuning in. Check us out on YouTube, Triple D. We are on Facebook. We're going to be doing lives whenever we can here. We just love making content for you guys. And if you have any suggestions for us or any feedback, please give it to us. We're very new at this, so be kind. And we'll see you guys next week.
Peace.
Awesome, man.